is the duo Milli Vanilli. Most of you may not know them, but you've most likely heard their song after it was used as a soundtrack on the new Netflix movie Monsters based on the Menendez brothers, and it has been trending on TikTok. So if you don't know their story, get ready because it is wild. In the late 1980s, music producer Frank Ferren was on a mission to create a perfect pop act. He discovered two performers, Rob Pilatus from Germany and Fabrice Mervin from Paris. Excuse my pronunciation. They had the look, but not the voices. Session singers were used to create the debut album of Milli Vanilli, with Rob and Fab as the faces only. The marketing behind Milli Vanilli was a masterclass in image creation. Their album, Girl You Know It's True, was packed with pop hits, and Rob and Fab had flashy clothes and great dance moves and a lot of charisma. They became instant stars and sold millions of records. A tour was scheduled and the plan was to have them lip sync. In 1990, they won a Grammy for Best New Artist, but behind the scenes, Rob and Fab were struggling to keep up with the lie. In interviews, reporters were starting to notice their thick accent and began to question if they were actually the singers on their songs. That same year, the truth came out when, during the live MTV performance, the track they were lip syncing to started to skip. Girl, you know it's, girl, you know it's, girl, you know it's. This was so embarrassing for them. Was devastating. They were shocked. They didn't know what to do, so they ran off stage. And it's awful and embarrassing. Shortly after, they had to admit that they were not in fact singing on their records. The Grammy was even revoked and taken from them. Amidst the public humiliation, Rob and Fab attempted to salvage what was left of their career. They actually were singers, but the record company didn't trust that they were good enough. So now out on their own, they started their own group called Rob and Fab, and they released an album in the early 90s, trying to get back onto the charts. In 1998, after years of struggling with addiction and being in and out of jail, Rob Pilatus died of a drug overdose. A few years later, the real singers behind Milli Vanilli came out and started their own group called The Real Milli Vanilli and were lobbying to get their Grammy back. But the public had already moved on, and they never really gained much traction. Because of the new Ryan Murphy series on Netflix called Monsters, which tells the story of the Menendez brothers, although they're not so happy about the movie as the Menendez brothers, they didn't feel like they were depicted properly in the movie, but that's a whole other video. One of their hit songs, Girl I'm Gonna Miss You, is used as a soundtrack in this series and has caused a resurgence of interest in Milli Vanilli. Because of the series, the song is back on the charts, which is a wild twist in this story. Rob has continued with his music and seems to be doing well, which is great because everyone deserves a second chance. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe for more.